introduce.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start with this thin wash of ultramarine. I'm just mixing it now. I'm using a fairly small brush and I'm looking at what my composition is going to be right here. So I'm really more interested in the water. They are just objects for me to get what I want to do. So I'm going to get this little boat in here. Then I'm going to get the next boat, which is going to move around, but you know, that's what happens. And I'll put the back of the boat in so that I have a shape, and it's got a top on it, thing that goes over the top somehow. Now, what I want to do now is get a bit more of the blue around it. I might even put some of those poles there, just going into the background a little bit. Rough. We're not doing anything that's going to be very, very realistic. This is the impression of what we're going to do. Now I'm going to start putting some quite strong colour around the boats, because if you take a look, I love how that gets very pale underneath as it moves away. That's that lovely green colour that comes in. A bit more pigment around here. I'm also seeing a bit of this going on. I won't spend too long on it because you need to do your own ones, but I'm leaving a lot of white bits, even if I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with that, but it will get the effect and hold the book up a little bit so that you get plenty of running down stuff. I'm looking, if I half shut my eyes I can see where the darks are, so it's underneath those poles over there. That's going to be a little bit dark under there. Now I'm going to actually put in some of that hookers, I reckon. Hookers will be the next thing I put in. Quite washy, because I can actually build up. I can put this colour in quite thinly, but if I want more I just go back and put it in. So I'm going to actually just put a bit in here, watching it come down. I love that, but that to me that's a little bit of possibly sap green. I'll chuck a bit under there, underneath the dinghy as it goes under here, if I can get it to show. Just a bit of that colour there. Back to this. Keep it wet, keep it thin. Keep observing where the colour is. Just keep looking up and down all the time so that you're not missing important things. I love doing these things. I reckon you get away with a lot when you do that, because it certainly looks like water even if it's not what's quite there yet. But we want a few more choppy chops on top of all this, plus a few more other colours. And what I really like is this swirly bit coming in here. I've got to work out how I'm going to do that. Actually, I'm going to put in the yellow ochre, which I can do it up here. The yellow ochre can come in around here. If you put too much on, just throw more water on it. And the looser it is, the better it'll be. Now it's getting quite dark on that side, so I'm going to actually have to put some darks down there, because that's where the light comes. And I think we're back to that green. What do we think?
Yeah.
Do you think dark green would be the... It's quite dark down that side because of that wharf, which I haven't actually allowed for room for, but it's not really that important. And don't worry if you get... I love that. I love how it breaks away. That's what you're looking for, is the accidents. I'm actually going to put... Because I'm a Purple Lake person, so... I don't know why I'm a Purple Lake person, but there you go. That can come in here.
So you consider Purple Lake a dark colour?
I do. Especially when it goes over the top of the hooker's green. In fact, the more layers of colour you'll get, the darker each one goes. So I'm coming in with a bit more of that down there. But I want to keep a few whites, because even though they're not whites, they're still pale compared to what the darks are that we're pumping in there. And I'm really liking the way that it's all running down now. I might actually just do a tiny bit of this under here. and it'll be the same underneath here. This is going to get really rich underneath there, and it's going to let it go down. Now I haven't used my amazing cerulean, which I'm so wedded to, because there's so many other colours that we're thinking about today, but I actually think that in here might be good. You're also looking at making it look pretty. You're also making it look how you want it to look. I don't get too caught up in matching anything, because I'm looking at what's on my page and do I like it or not, you know? That's everything to me, is whether I like what's on the page. That's just pure reference. That just gets me what I want. I haven't done any of the choppy chop things, but I'm actually going to do a thing where I go with that yellow ochre. I'm just going to do it like there's a bit of an edge around there. That'll do. That'll do for that, for the time being. I'll put my boats in a minute, but it's more to do with the water. And there it is. That's the first demo of boats on water.